So in this video, we're going to have a look at how we can increase or decrease an amount by a certain percentage. I'm going to take you through two different methods. You may choose a method that works best for you, but ideally as you become really strong mathematicians, method 2 will help us be more efficient in our calculations. But let's take a look at method number 1. So in our first question, we want to increase $200 by 10%. So what we're going to do is calculate the 10% and then add it on. So if 100% is worth $200, we know 10% is worth 20, because remembering that 10% is 1 over 100 or 1/10. So we've divided 200 by 10. So therefore, if I want to increase the original $200, I'm going to add on the $20 and my new value is 220. Let's have a look at this method 1 for our second situation. Let's increase $3,658 by 17.5%. So because we know 100% is 3,658, I want to work out 17.5% of 3,658. Now I know that 17.5% is 0.175 lots of 3,658. Remembering that 17.5% is 17.5 divided by 100. So I've written it as a decimal. I'm going to use our calculator for this. This gives me a value of $640.15. So it should be a lot smaller because it's under 20% of that total price. So I'm going to increase it, which means I'm going to add it on. So I've got 3,658 plus $640.15 gives me a new total of $4,298.15. So that's the method where we find the percentage of the amount and then add it on for an increase. Let's have a look at method 2 when we're talking about increasing an amount. So we're going to continue with method 1 and we're going to look at what happens when we want to decrease. So decrease simply means we're going to subtract or take away from the original amount. So in our next example, we want to decrease 589 kilograms by 5%. So this is where I'm going to find 5% of the total and then take it away. So I know that if 100% is 589 kilos, 10% would be 58.9 kilograms. And so 5% is going to be half of that. So 5% is going to be 29.45 kilos. Now I want to take that away because I want to decrease it. So I'm going to take away the 29.45 and that will leave me with $559.55 kilograms. Now this is one approach we can use to find 5% by first finding 10%. We could also take that idea that 5% is 5 divided by 100 or 1/20th of that 589. So let's have a look at it in our fourth example. Decrease 500 litres by 90%. So this is where we're going to find 90% and then subtract it. Well, I know 100% is 500 litres. So 90% is just going to have that removing the 10%. So I'm going to find 10%. That's going to be 50 litres. So 90% is going to be 9 lots of that. So that's going to be 450 litres. Now I want to decrease it by 90%. So this means I'm going to take the original amount, take away the 450, so I end up with 50 litres remaining. Because I've subtracted most of it. I've in fact subtracted 90%, leaving just 10%. So let's revisit each of these examples using method 2. Method 2 looks at adding on the percentage before you complete your calculation, or taking off the percentage before you complete your calculation. So in our first example, we increased $200 by 10%. So if I want to increase something, which means I want to keep 100% of it, and I want to add on 10%. So really, I want to work out 110% of $200. So really, I want 110 out of 100, lots of $200. So I could grab my calculator and put this in. I could also write this as 1.10 lots of 200. And then I could go from there. And I know my answer should be greater than 200 because I'm increasing it. So 1.1 lots of 200 gives me $220. Let's see that in our second example. We wanted to add 17.5% to the already 100% of 3,658. So I actually want to find 117.5% of $3,658. So this is 117.5 out of 100, lots of 3,658. This is also 1.175, lots of 3,658. The 1 stands for the whole amount, and the 0.175 is my decimal equivalent to 17.5%. And using my calculator, I get $4,298.15. So this method, when we are decreasing by an amount, means if we want to subtract 5%, it means that we want to keep 95%. So I'm going to find 95% of the 589 kilograms. I know 95% is 0.95 lots of 589, and popping this into my calculator, I end up with 559.55 kilos. So what it allows us to do in method 2 is one efficient calculation. So in our last example where we wanted to decrease 500 litres by 90%, I'm actually only wanting to keep 10%. So all I want to do is find 10% of 500 litres. That's 0.1 of 500, or a tenth of 500, and this is equal to 50 litres. So we've got two different methods that give us the same solutions. Method 1 just helps us identify what the percentage total is as an amount and then add or subtract it. Method 2 allows us to incorporate it into our calculation. So let's have a look at this in terms of a situation. So I'm going to focus on question number 2. Question 2 is all about the sale price of a dress. It was marked up by 65%. So a dress shop owner paid $25 for this dress to come into their shop, and now they want to mark it up to sell it to their customer. So because I want to mark up by 65%, it means that I want to take 100% of its price and add on 65%. So really, I want 165% of the price of the dress. So I'm going to use method 2 here. 1.65 is the decimal equivalent of the $25 dress. And placing that into my calculator, I will find that I'm going to sell this dress for $41.25 to my customer. So the idea of increasing or decreasing by a percent allows us to mark up items or to discount items if we want to put them on sale.